Alright, boys and girls, Hoyoverse just released the latest trailer for Natlan and patch 5.0, and let me tell you something, it is fire! Now, the coolest part, for me at least, is that the vast majority of things that I talked about in the Natlan analysis and speculation video, the one I made about the Primal Fire, most of it was either confirmed or heavily supported by everything we saw in the live stream and the version trailer that we're about to watch. Which, you know, sometimes how people leave comments in my videos saying, yo, Dragon MJE, or my name for now, whatever you want to call me. How does this guy always get so many things right? This guy definitely works for Hoyoverse, he has the script. Boys, listen, I do not have the script. Most of the time I just press record and then start, I just wing it. I press record and wing it. And in the rare situations where I get most of the things right, let me tell you, it is damn satisfying. And without further ado, let us look into all of the cool details that are revealed or hinted at in the trailer. So, just in case there is, like, one guy who is... this video is going to be the very first exposure to the Natlan trailer for them, let's watch the whole thing and then we will go over it again.
We've arrived at the final phase. The winner of this match will take the final spot among the victors. Give it up for a long-time contender and first-time finalist.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
The pilgrimage is not merely a trial to determine the strongest among us, but also a stage upon which to showcase your individual growth.
The purpose of the pilgrimage is not only to select strong warriors, but also to collect contending fire from the battles. Natlan is only safe from the invasion of the Abyss, while the sacred flame burns eternal.
Guess I'll have to wait until the next pilgrimage. I'm still not sure why our YUP chose me of all people. It took the combined efforts of the then Pyro Archon and heroes from every tribe to finally repel the Abyss. Even so, the effects of the invasion lingered for hundreds of years, only able to be reversed little by little. Our current Archon achieved an overwhelming victory. The result was obvious from the beginning. I really want to win this time and become a true warrior! But through our long history of fighting the Abyss, we've realized things aren't quite so simple. The Abyss has invaded the Night Kingdom, and has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given moment.
Going there, the Night Kingdom?
Only those who triumph over the Abyss earn the right to be revived. Defeat not only means death, but also the destruction of your ancient name, preventing it from ever being inherited again.
You heard something from here, didn't you?
Kinich, what is the meaning of this? Only one way to awaken you all from your willful blindness. More sacrifices must be made.
You'll die if you try to make your way forward. Why don't you just give up?
You want to know why I won't give up?
I should have died 5 years ago.
Take me as your next sacrifice!
Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. No! Why can't I find him? Why?
Every great display of power comes at a price. We'll never make it!
That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing power.
We shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom. What use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan.
People like us, let our blade do the talking!
Okay, so Hoyoverse are stepping up their game. Natlan is going in hard. Most of you know this at this point because everyone watching this is going to be somewhat familiar with the structure of Hoyoverse's Arcane quests. And usually they all start slowly, very slowly, and then build up to a very huge climax. With this one, it seems like we are going to be getting into the action right off the bat. Not only with the group of heroes going to, I'm assuming they're going to be going into the abyss and then trying to escape from it, but also in addition to all of that, we have a confrontation between Il Capitano and Mahuika, which, let me tell you, in previous versions, a fight like this would have been in like 5.3 or 5.2, something along those lines. If this was in Fontaine, it would be 5.2. But this time, we are going in immediately. Hopefully, it's going to be longer than Neuvillette versus Child, and Mahuika or Capitano does not one-shot the other. At least let them fight for a little bit. I want to see some cool animations. But aside from that, let us talk about the lore, because there is a lot of lore. And right off the get-go, we can see over here a tower with the primal fire in the middle. You can see it. And the arena surrounds this tower. Now, you know what? Let's go through the video and then I'll talk about the primal fire. It's very interesting.
We've arrived at the final phase. The winner of this match will take the final spot among the victors.
Okay, this is actually the biggest thing that surprised me about this trailer. I used to think that the tournament is gonna take the entire Arcane quest, so I thought it would end in 2 versions, 5.2, 5.3, however long the stakes. I believe 5.2 will not have an Arcane quest for the first time. They're going to be shifting into 5.3, but that is absolutely fine. I thought that they would be doing the tournament for that entire Arcane quest. However, from this guy's quote, unless they are doing like qualifiers and then the finals will be in 5.1 or 5.3, perhaps they are doing qualifiers over here. But from the way he is talking, it looks like we are going to be going into the tournament and wrapping it up in version 5.0. Which is peculiar. I'm not sure if that is the case, but it seems like that is the case. And if it is, then that's really cool, because this means that we are going to have a lot more new stuff later down the line in version 5.1 and 5.3.
Give it up for a long time contender.
Also, this also means lots of action in 5.0.
And first-time finalist.
When he says long-time contender and first-time finalist, he's probably talking about Kachina. You're gonna see why later.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here. There's something in the depths of this place that feels...
So they come into this land. I'm assuming this is Chaska talking to the group when they enter into the abyss, because as we know from right over... Where is it? As we know from right over here, you can see them trying to escape the abyss. I'm assuming this is some kind of abyssal realm. And they enter it here, and Chaska says that the rules of nature basically no longer apply in this domain, which makes sense because, well, Abyss contorts and corrupts the land around it. This area might be the night realm, or the night domain, or the night kingdom. We're gonna talk about that in a few seconds, or in a few minutes. I want you to pay attention to how this structure that could be corrupted by the Abyss, in fact, it most likely is corrupted by the Abyss, is wrapping itself around this orange crystal. This rhombohedral, pyramidal rhombohedral crystal is getting wrapped by a corrupted abyssal structure. We're gonna get back to these crystals.
It feels familiar, yet also foreign.
Yeah, as you can see, the Abyss is corrupting the land and opening rifts in it. There we go.
The pilgrimage is not merely a trial to determine the strongest among us, but also a stage upon which to showcase your individual growth.
Okay, so this... I'm gonna take a moment here to pat myself on the back. We essentially get a confirmation for what I talked about in my Natlan speculation video regarding the primal fire. Mahuika herself, the Pyro Archon, says that the pilgrimage, which I'm assuming this is the name of the tournament, however, it could also refer to something else. Well, it could be referring to two different things, but the pilgrimage is likely also the name of the tournament, is not merely a trial to determine the strongest among us, but also a stage upon which to showcase your individual growth. This is very big, because in my Natlan speculation video, I talked about how the primal fire likely represents the soul, or the essence, most likely the soul, of the people of Natlan, since there are 6 tribes and 6 embers, and those 6 embers surround this giant flame. This is likely the primal fire. And those 6 embers are, well, in that video, I speculated that they are fading, and the point of the tournament is to reignite them through the growth, or the individual growth, the feelings, the emotions of the people fighting in, participating in, and watching the tournament. And the reasoning I used to justify this claim was what we learned not only from what Ruka Devata did with the Akasha system and the dreams of the people of Sumeru, their ambitions, but also what Fossilors did with the Opera Epiclese, and how she used the emotions of the people who watched the trials unfold over history, over 500 years, to gather indemnitium, which would be the equivalent of the, well, not exact equivalent, but close enough equivalent of the primal fire in this situation, in order to execute herself. So, yeah, essentially, pat myself on the back, I'm so good, let's keep going.
But also,
obviously, I'm being sarcastic, not about the explanation, about, like, me, you know what I mean.
So a stage upon which to showcase your individual growth.
Hopefully no one thinks that I'm being serious when I say pat myself on the back.
The purpose of the pilgrimage is not only to select strong warriors, but also to collect contending fire from the battles.
Yup. So, again, once again, like, I don't want to hammer in this point, but I talked about this in my Natlan speculation video. The purpose of the pilgrimage, again, that's probably the name of the tournament, is not only to select strong warriors, but also to collect contending fire from the battles. So they are going to be using the battles in some capacity. I am uncertain of how exactly it's going to go about, but they will be using those battles in order to fan the flames of the primal fire. Either the 6 embers of the tribes or the primal fire itself, whichever one is fading. I'm assuming the primal fire. Oh, and the primal fire is definitely something very similar to the primordial sea. It likely came from the light realm, and it likely belongs to the dragons. Probably the Pyro Sovereign.
And is only safe from the invasion of the abyss, while the sacred flame burns eternal.
Oh my god, once again, Natlan is only safe from the invasion of the abyss while the sacred flame burns eternal. I also talked about this in my Natlan speculation video. The sacred flame is essentially like a torch that protects the entire nation from the abyss and wards off its influence. So the people of Natlan need to keep its flames strong in order to repel the abyss. Honestly, I'm not gonna give myself too much credit here, because it's very easy to expect that a divine primordial fire would be used to destroy the abyss. Like, it makes sense. So yeah, I'm not really a genius for this one. This guy looks like his name, I think, is Kinich. Either Kinich or Kinik. He looks like he belongs in Honkai Star Rail, not Genshin, bro. Like, my guy is over here playing Pixelate. Like, this guy should be in ZZZ. I would pull him in ZZZ.
Guess I'll have to wait until the next pilgrimage.
Oh yeah, you remember when I said that the guy, like the announcer, was talking about Kachina earlier? Look.
Guess I'll have to wait.
See, guess I'll have to wait till the next pilgrimage. It looks like Kachina has been trying for a very long... I have a feeling I'm gonna feel bad for Kachina. Like, she looks like a very sad character. So it seems like she has been trying to participate in the tournament for a very long time and trying to become the champion, and always failing. But this time, who knows? Maybe she might reach the finals.
Until the next
Hey, but I'm gonna be real with you though. No matter how bad I feel for her, if she's against Capitano, she's cooked, bro.
Pilgrimage.
If she's against Capitano, El Rip Bozo, Kachina, nice been knowing you.
I'm still not sure why our YUP chose me of all.
Oh, okay, good. This is important to talk about. So she says, I'm still not sure why our Wyob chose me of all people. The Wyob, I am talking about something that I did not research, so please do not take what I'm saying literally word for word. Just take the overall idea. I believe Wyob is something... I need to go look it up. Again, don't take this literally, just take it essentially for general meaning. The Wyob should be something that comes from South American, either South American or North American, probably South American, that comes from South American mythologies, and it should be, probably Aztec or Mayan, I think, and it should be either someone who can transform into an animal, or someone who can communicate with the spirit animals, or someone who... It's essentially a relationship between humans and animals. And it has a lot of spiritual things. In the context of Genshin, though, especially in the context of Natlan, I think the Wyob is like a mediary between dragons and humans, maybe? Or humans and nature? Now, each tribe, at least from Kachina's words, she says, I am still not sure why our Wyob. So she's talking about her tribe. So each tribe should have a Wyob. A Wyob would be then either an elder, a divine elder, or a collective consciousness in the context of Genshin. I am leaning more towards the latter. I think it's some kind of collective consciousness for each tribe that is also related to the light realm and elemental energy and memories that essentially leads each tribe and selects a champion for the tournament every year, I think, because Mahuika does this every year. Yeah. So either an elder or a collective consciousness, the Wyob in Genshin, and it might have divine, well, not divine, it might have envoys that, it might manifest itself in the shape of envoys.
People. It took the combined efforts of the then Pyro Archon and heroes from every tribe to finally repel the Abyss.
Oh, also, in my previous Natlan speculation video, someone pointed out that I did not call Mahuika the Pyro Archon at all. The reason I did not call her the Pyro Archon was not because I did not think she was a god. The moment I saw Mahuika, immediately I knew this was a god. And I even called her the God of War multiple times, never denying her divinity. But I don't think she is the only god in Natlan, and I don't think she's going to remain the only god in Natlan. You can see evidence over here. It took the combined efforts of the then Pyro Archon, which means the one before Mahuika. This is assuming that Mahuika is not Murata, and assuming that... this is assuming that Mahuika is Murata, and the one before her is different. And heroes from every tribe to finally repel the Abyss. So yeah, big abyssal calamity, and they had to repel it. Talked about this in my Natlan speculation video, once again.
Even so, the effects of the invasion lingered for hundreds of years, only able to be reversed little by little.
Also, look how beautiful Natlan is. It's so cool. This might genuinely be, my favorite area in terms of aesthetics that Genshin ever has. So cool. The characters, I do not like the character designs, not because of... I don't hate them, I just think they are very average and lame and boring. There is nothing interesting in them. So I am not really interested in the characters, which is honestly good for me because I get to save for Madame Ping. But, or I suppose I might pull Ishbalanque if Ishbalanque is cool, we will see. But the area and the aesthetics are so beautiful. This looks so good.
Repel the Abyss. Even so,
easily my favorite area until Mondstadt gets an update. If Mondstadt gets an update and, well, yeah, that might return to being my favorite area.
The effects of the invasion lingered.
Bro, look at how cool this is.
For hundreds of years, only able to be reversed little by little.
But yeah, it looks like Natlan is the nation that is most diseased by the Abyss. It is the one that has been affected the most.
Our current Archon achieved an overwhelming victory. The result was obvious from the beginning. I really want to win this. The result was obvious from the beginning.
Remember the crystals I talked about at the very beginning where they had something wrapped around them? Let me show you where they are. They are right over here. Well, these might be more of them, but the one I want to show you...
Forward. Everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here. There's something in the depths.
Yeah, remember these crystals? We can see them again, or at least we can see new forms of them right over here. And these crystals are very interesting because remember, Natlan is a nation of dragons, and these crystals remind me a lot of certain crystals that we can precipitate out of Ilinas. It's a side quest that you get inside of Elinas where you get a crystal and give it to a jewelry guy, and then he returns it to you and pays you a good hefty price for it, stuff like that. The crystal that Elinas, the crystal we extract from Elinas looks very similar to these crystals we see over here around the nation of Natlan. So I am wondering if these are related to the Light Realm or if they are related to dragons. They might be dragon crystals, something along those lines, something like that. Dude, the longer I look at it, the more it is similar to the crystal we pick up from Elinas. Yeah, this is very suspicious. Might be related to the Light Realm. Could be the product of dragons. Could be something else entirely. Who knows? But I highly suspect it is related to dragons because Elinas was an abyssal dragon created by Rheindotter. So him having crystals similar to these, very suspicious.
I really want to win this time and become a true warrior!
So yeah, again, Kachina wants to win the tournament.
But through our long history of fighting the Abyss, we've realized things aren't quite so simple. The Abyss has invaded the Night Kingdom, and has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given moment.
So this is interesting. I assume this is Mualani, could be wrong. It doesn't really matter, honestly. She says, the Abyss has invaded the Night Kingdom and has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given moment. I'm not sure what the Night Kingdom is. It could be... do I say this or do I wait? You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to say it. The Night Kingdom could be like a counterpart to Natlan. So Natlan would consist of two kingdoms. There would be the Light Kingdom, which is the one that is lit by the primal fire that you can see over here, that Mahuika is standing right in front of. And then there could be the counterpart to the mainland Natlan, which is the Night Kingdom. And that would essentially be the other half of the land. Oh, also something else. The crystals from earlier, you can see them on the left and right of Mahuika. Do you see them? They are on the torch thingies. Yeah, okay, so these crystals reoccurring, and you can see the crystals in front of the primal fire. Also, you can see 6 chairs. I'm assuming each chair belongs to one of the tribe leaders or tribe champions, one of the two. And then the central chair with the sun is for the Pyro Archon, which should be Mahuika. Hopefully. If it's not her, then it's Ishbalanque. Most likely, it's probably both of them, to be honest. But that's a topic for a different time. And yeah, the Abyss invaded the Night Kingdom. It took over it, and it seems like the Abyss, when it invades land... Hold on, wait. And has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given moment. Okay. So this strengthens what I said regarding how the Night Kingdom could be a counterpart to mainland Natlan, because through invading the Night Kingdom, the Abyss might be able to read the memories of the land of Natlan itself. This line could also be taken from when the group are in the Night Kingdom, and then whoever is saying this line, Mualani, might be talking about the Night Kingdom itself, so the land would be the Night Kingdom. Anyway, whatever, let's move on from this.
Going there, the Night Kingdom?
Only those who triumph over the Abyss are...
Hold on. So I could be correct. You see how we transition? You see, look at this, look at this. We transition from the primal fire, normal Natlan. This is the arena, and now look. Even the sky changes. This is a different location. This is the Night Kingdom. Okay, so I might be correct. I might be onto something. The Night Kingdom could be like either a mirror plane, a mirror realm, or like a twin counterpart. Ooh, in the legend of Hunahpu and Ishbalanque, Hunahpu becomes the sun and Ishbalanque becomes the moon. I wonder if the moon has a kingdom, which is the Night Kingdom, and the sun, Hunahpu, or Mahuika in this case, so Mahuika would be Ishbalanque's sister? Maybe. So the sun would have its own kingdom, Natlan, and then the moon would have the kingdom of the night. Only those who triumph over the Abyss earn the right to be revived. Defeat not only means death, but also destruction, ancient name. Defeat means the destruction of the ancient... Oh, preventing essentially reincarnation. Because we learned from Similanka that names dictate fate, and it seems like they use ancient names, probably tribe names, in order to reincarnate. Reincarnate in every cycle, because Tevat has 4 cycles. Very cool. Okay, cool.
Those who triumph.
Okay, this is why I'm making this video. You see these ghosts or these souls over here? They are really similar to humanities from Dark Souls. Really similar. And when you take into account... Okay, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the lore of Dark Souls, I'm going to give you a very quick summary. You see the primal fire in front of Mahoika? Here is the lore of Dark Souls, very heavily summarized for the sake of what is relevant in this analysis and in this video. Again, super summary. This is not concise and this is not detailed. In Dark Souls, there was a fire. Okay, the world was at first ruled by dragons, and when the dragons ruled the world, the entire thing was there was no meaning to time, and everything was gray, so no color. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, the first flame arose. So the primal fire here could be the first flame. 4 creatures split the power of the first flame into amongst each other, and those 4 creatures became the 4 lords of their respective dynasties. The 4 souls that were extracted from the first flame were the soul of light, the soul of death, the soul of life, and then finally the soul of dark. And the soul of dark was taken by the furtive pygmy, the ancestor of humanity. What is interesting about the dark soul, which is the soul of dark, is that not only could it create an ecosystem called the abyss, literally called the abyss, but also humans would thrive in the abyss. And because humans inherited the dark soul, they had 2 types of souls. They had the white soul, which is the normal soul that Lord Gwyn gave them. That's a whole different conversation. And they had the dark soul in them. And these dark souls of humanity, the dark soul of man, are known as humanities. They are called humanities. And they look identical to these ghosts that you see floating in the abyss, which is very interesting because humanities in Dark Souls are also found in the abyss, and they thrive in the abyss, and they are the soul of humans. And fun fact about humanities, you know how Kinich, or not Kinich, someone was saying, hold on, let me find the quote. Well, the quote is in front of us. The quote is in front of us. But also the destruction of your ancient name, preventing it from ever being inherited again. I might sound like a crazy man rambling right now, but this will make sense in the future when I turn it into a proper video. Humanities in Dark Souls cannot be destroyed. They always reincarnate into future humans. It's not like the soul of the human reincarnating. Humanities reincarnating into different humans is different because humanities are more like emotions and they are the dark part of someone's soul. They are not their identity. They're more like their emotions. And they are exclusive to humans, and they allow humans to survive in the abyss in Dark Souls. So I might be significantly overthinking this. In fact, I am probably significantly overthinking this. But if these things are related to the ancient names, and these things are taken from the humanities of the Dark Soul, then boy, I have one hell of a theory to talk about that is currently cooking in the oven. But do I keep going? I genuinely could keep going on the topic of humanities for an entire hour. But for the sake of simplicity, let us just keep going with the video. I will talk about this in the future. But yeah, look up humanities, guys, trust me.
Triumph over the abyss earn the right to be revived. Defeat not only means death, but also the...
Dude, look, they even have, like, the eyes. It's so similar to Dark Souls humanities.
Destruction of your ancient name, preventing it from ever being...
And I'm assuming this is the arena from the other side, or this is like... Oh, we can see the Celestial Nail. Do you see the Celestial Nail up? Look up, you can see a nail. The bottom of it. Yeah, cool.
Inherited again.
You heard something from here, didn't you?
Kinich, what is the meaning of this? Only one...
This is obviously Kenichi's story quest. Let's keep going.
One way to awaken you all from your willful blindness. More sacrifices must be made.
You'll die if you try to make your way forward. Why don't you just give up?
You want to know why I won't give up? I should have died 5 years ago. Take me as your next sacrifice!
Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back.
Total devastation.
Once your...
Do you see this cube in in the center? Look in the center of the screen, you're gonna see a cube. It reminds me of the Sustainer and Morax's cubes.
Ancient name disappears, there's no coming back.
So Mahoika is staring at... Holy shit, this quest is gonna be packed. Wow, okay. So she is staring into what reminds me of a lighthouse, but instead of like normal light, we have what is the symbol of the sun. Makes sense since Natlan is a nation of fire and the sun is very important, and Mahuika has a lot of sun motifs. Staring into the sun, we can see the symbol of Pyro, which I am assuming Pyro comes from the primal fire, surrounded by the 6 tribes of Natlan. Once again, talked about this in my previous Natlan speculation video that I've been referencing this whole time.
No! Why can't I find him?
I am assuming this guy is using the power of the Abyss in order to find his brother or son or father or grandfather. It's some kind of tragic story along those lines. But let's be honest, we do not give a shit about tragic stories because well, most of the time they are done very poorly.
Why?
Every great display.
Also, Corrupted Dragon, you can see him over here. Either Corrupted Dragon or this is a dragon spirit, because it seems like that I was correct in my assessment that Natlan dragons can exit their spirits, and this is a shadow spirit instead of a light spirit. There might be two types. Now that I think about it, if Natlan is composed of a light realm, let me not use light realm because that's the elemental realm of the dragons. It might be composed of a light kingdom for the primal fire and a night kingdom, like day kingdom and night kingdom. I wonder, day kingdom, night. I wonder if that's related to Numa and Usia, or a similar concept to Numa and Usia from Fontaine. Okay, yeah, let's keep going.
Display of power comes at a price. We'll never make it!
So here, obviously, they are trying to escape the Abyss.
That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand?
This is probably a villain, most likely, and then we can see the Abyss. Or not necessarily the Abyss, but bare minimum, this is an area that was corrupted by the Abyss. So heavy abyssal influence.
Understand nothing, all-encompassing.
And once again, this scene right here, I'm assuming this is from Kenichi's story quest.
Nothing.
Maybe.
All-encompassing power.
Shall unite
Never mind, it's probably from Kenichi's story quest.
the tribes and save.
Also, Ian-san is Electro. She looks cool in my opinion. She's one of the... Never mind, she's the only character from Natlan who I think has a decent enough design.
Natlan from its
Natlan designs are not for me. They are very... I was hoping for more. Let me just say this. With Natlan, I was hoping for them to go all out with like South American and African and North American. Well, African is questionable for a few things that I do not want to get into because I do not want to oversaturate this video with a lot of different topics. But South American, Mesoamerican, North American, I wanted them to go all out. Unfortunately, I will show you here. I'll show what I mean. Look at the characters. They are generic waifu number 2, generic waifu number 469, 2 small girls, and Paimon. Bro, what's her name? Chaska? She is goofy as fuck. Also, let me show you something about Chaska because people were debating this.
Tribes and save Natlan from its impending
Power comes at a price.
Okay, let's go back. You can see her vision right over here. Do you see the animal vision? People were saying she is cryo. Also, my god, what the fuck is she wearing? Bro, this looks so goofy! Like, who looks at this? Hold on. Boys, listen. Who looks at this and says, oh my god, she's so cool, or so hot? Also, she's an elf. She's like Klee, and okay, we're gonna get to that later. Oh, this looks like garbage. And the sad thing is, if she was wearing proper pants, also there is the whole high heels bullshit. Don't get me into high heels. Okay, let's not talk about high heels. I'm gonna rant for an hour.
We'll never make it!
That is the tragedy of your short lives. You understand nothing of all-encompassing power.
We shall unite the tribes and save Natlan from its impending doom.
What use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
Mahuika suggests that Capitano has greater motivations than just the Tsaritsa. Well, could be not. What would that mean, though? Why would Capitano have bigger... he is the ranked #1 Harbinger. He's the strongest Harbinger. He might have his own goals.
Your plan.
Your plan has reached an impasse, and now he wants to create new rules for Natlan. Is this guy from Natlan? Because why would he be interested in Natlan's fate? Why would he be interested in Natlan's fate, or to create new rules for Natlan, if he is not from the nation? I'm looking into his design to see what I can pick out. I can see what looks like dragon scales, similar to Zhongli, but these could be anything. They do not have to be dragon scales, to be fair. He does have claws, though. So potentially dragon scales, potentially claws. My guy might actually be from Natlan?
Your plan has reached an impasse.
Also, yeah, he is Cryo. Also, my god, this character looks cool.
And now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan.
Bro, this guy looks so fucking sick. Hold on. Is this a heart? Wait. Go back. He has a heart on his chest. Wait, is this a heart or a spade? Is my guy referencing cards? What? He might even have diamond. No, he doesn't have. Well, maybe a diamond. Who knows? This guy might be referencing chess. Sorry, not chess. Cards. He has heart that could also be seen as a spade. Is he like a king of spade? Well, okay, it doesn't matter. We will analyze his design later.
People like us. Let our blade do the talking!
Also, Mahoika, classic Himiko Murata hair when she is using her fire. I will probably pull Mahoika for the sole reason of her being the XP of Himiko Murata, which is a character that I quite like from Honkai Impact. And she... Also, by the way, Kiana can also do this with her hair. However, I mean, the similarities between Mahoika and Himiko are blatant. So we do not need to insert Kiana into this. And the last thing I want to say is that these weapons that they are holding, the sword that Capitano has,
to create new rules for Natlan,
and the claymore that Mahoika has, they are almost certainly not the real weapons. These are most likely placeholder weapons that they are holding, just like what they did with El Haytham and Navia and Clorand. So all of them used different weapons. This is probably the same thing, and we're going to get new models later down the line. I don't know why Horrorverse does this, by the way. They could simply just give them their weapons. Like, it's so weird.
People like...
It feels like they are way too scared to render a weapon for Mahoika, and then maybe they want to change the design later, who knows? I just give her the weapon, man. Don't be that much of a pussy.
Us. Let our blade do the talking!
Anyway, yeah, Capitano is by far the coolest character in the entire trailer. Not even close. Nothing even comes close to him. I do not expect him to be playable until either Snezhnaya or Natlan, if he is playable. We do not know if he is going to be playable. If he is, we are going to have to wait until either Natlan. Until either Snezhnaya or Kanria, which is unfortunate. But because, well, perhaps it is fortunate. Because when Capitano comes out, let me tell you something, guys. When Capitano comes out, I might as well give the password of my bank account to Hoyoverse. At that point, my bank account is meaningless. But listen, when Capitano comes out, my money belongs to Hoyoverse. This character is so cool. So cool. They didn't make him a twink, but I wish he was larger and more muscular and bigger and shit like that. I'm kind of disappointed that he is kind of thin. Not really thin. They gave him muscles, but not quite there. He looks more around the same as Riesli. I was hoping for more. Let's just leave it at that. Is there anything else that I want to mention? No, I think this is pretty much it. So yeah, overall, best trailer they have ever made. Natlan looks absolutely amazing in terms of aesthetics. The characters are super, super boring for me. I am not pulling a single one except maybe Ishbalanque, if Ishbalanque looks cool, and maybe Mahoika because she is Himiko and I might fold, and Capitano, if he comes out, like I said, my bank account belongs to Hoyoverse. Other than that, maybe Ion-san and the rest, hard skip. They are super mid. When I say mid, I mean average. I don't mean the mid that most people mean. Let's not overextend this video any more than this. Thank you all for watching. I have a whole bunch of other videos that I'm making. Elden Ring, that's video is gonna come out before this one. Genshin Theory after this one. Honkai Star Rail before August 21. And another Genshin video and another Elden Ring video after that. So stay tuned. Thank you all for watching. Take care. And I will see you in the next time. Goodbye.